This is the Criterion Creeps podcast, and tonight we're talking about Sweetie from 1989, directed by Jane Campion. No wonderful tagline for this film, RJ, but we have a synopsis.
Okay.
An introspective young woman's life is upturned by the arrival of her maladjusted sister.
Who?
Maladjusted.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Not adjusted?
Like she's doing okay?
No. It's the opposite of that.
Okay.
She's not doing well.
No?
No.
Shit.
You know about Sweetie?
I know about Sweeties. Like,
hey. Well, this is Sweetie, not Sweetums either.
Oh, okay. Just Sweetie?
Sweetie.
Okay.
So this is a movie I was going into blind. I haven't really watched much Jane Campion besides that Angela at My Table film that we watched with real-life New Zealander Oliver Granger some time ago.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen Power of the Dog, right?
Yeah, I guess that counts too. But like from her early work, I've never seen like the other big one. Was it the Piano?
The Piano?
Yeah, I never saw that.
You don't know The Piano?
But yeah, and there's such a gulf of time of her career. Like this is like 1989, early on in her movie making, and Angels at My Table, which I vaguely remember at this point, but maybe I'm thinking of Henry and June for other reasons. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. And then Power of the Dog. A lot of people liked it. Who even knew that it had a real life celebrity power couple?
Who are we talking about?
Kirsten Dunst and not Philip Seymour Hoffman.
They're in that movie?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they were married.
Just Blentball. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Well, I think they got married
during the filming.
Or after?
I think it was in Fargo that they got married to each other.
Is that when they actually got married?
I think so.
Okay.
Something like that.
They met. No, they met while doing Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all these celebrity. There's timelines on people about it. From co-stars to the proud parents of two. Here's everything to know about Kirsten Dunst and Jess Plemons.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
They played a married couple and then they got married. It's like wrestling. They were engaged in 2017 and they had two kids.
Two kids?
Yeah. And then it wasn't until last month that they apparently actually got married. So look at that.
You're next, buddy.
No, I'm good.
Jesse Plemons is coming for you.
No. So, some call me the Jess Plemons of Creepsville, and it makes me sad. I don't want
if we're gonna stick with Breaking Bad characters, I think you're the Badger of Creepsville.
Oh, Badger.
Remember Badger?
Yeah, I vaguely remember Badger.
Yeah, you're the Badger.
that voice.
Yeah, you give off Badger vibes.
Yeah, of oafish.
Well, no.
And oof.
Just sexual vibes.
Oh, I didn't realize Badger gave off sexual vibes at all.
I don't think you were watching the show right then.
I was just into gaming.
I don't think you were watching the show correctly.
I can't do that voice.
The Badger voice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it sounds like... no one can do that.
That's tough.
Yeah, nobody can do it.
One of a kind ability. Much like Sweetie. In its ability to make you care.
Care how?
About everything.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, we're avoiding talking about this movie. So, anyway, this movie's about a woman. She works at a factory.
Does she?
She has a uniform.
Okay.
She has coworkers, and they get very excited when one of them is engaged. Apparently, but
they're also real bullies.
Yeah, I mean that's workplaces. We've all been there.
Yeah, it's like working in a comic shop or like a university or something.
Yeah, or at an undisclosed location.
Or at an undisclosed location. Yeah, bullies are everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Bullies are everywhere.
So this woman, she got her tea leaves read.
Sure, she did.
And it said that she'd meet a man, and he'd have a question mark for a face. And she was like, "What?" And then, of course, this guy who's just been engaged with a coworker of hers, she looks at him, and sure enough, he's got that little, like, swirl that RJ sometimes has.
What you mean, like this?
Yeah, this one here? The little twizzle in the front of the hair, and it's kind of twisted. And there's like a Twizzler? There's like a little mole, which is like the little dot of the question mark. And
I don't have moles, though. I have impeccable skin.
You're pretty moly.
Well, mole in behavior, but not in skin quality.
You're like Mexican
mole man.
Mole.
I love mole. Mole is incredible.
That's what I said. You're very mole.
I love mole. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So, she makes her play.
Sure.
And now she starts banging this dude.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's like, because it's a quirky film.
Mm-hmm.
They hit it off in a parking garage, and then people
are
banging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then of course people coming along, so they go hide under the car, and then they continue making love under the car.
Doing what?
Is that hot, RJ?
No,
sure. I don't know. I don't see that working very well mechanically.
I mean, it's also dirty and stinky under cars.
Yeah. Do you think depth could be achieved that way?
Could you describe what you mean?
Well, when the meeting of the hips kind of work together, RJ, your headphones not on all the way. You need.
I was scratching my ear. I'm listening.
It's like when a penis enters a vagina.
Okay.
And it's like there's like that upshift. I was like, I just don't know. I don't feel like going in. Would it be able to like really work well if you're under a car?
I'm not familiar with what you mean. Could you describe more about what you mean?
Penises?
Yeah. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. Could you describe what you mean?
I don't know. It's that thing, It's like a sponge sometimes.
Like a butt?
Like a butt. That's down there too. It's all interconnected.
Okay.
Yep. So this movie, while having these sequences, there's also these musical interludes, these musical cuts and decisions. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this like chorus singing over top, like just haphazardly throughout the film. I feel like that is one of a few things in this that I think have not aged well.
One of. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, this couple becomes a couple, and there's a jump cut, 6 months, and they're now in a relationship. They're moving in together, married, or something like that. Maybe even 18 months later, he's planting trees. She doesn't like it. She has a dream.
He dug up the concrete.
She pulled out a laundry line post, and then she dreams about destroying it. And then she wakes up in the middle of the night and does just that. She uproots this tree that he attempted to plant.
So, Jarrett, you know about metaphors, right?
Nope, not on this show.
What about allegories?
Nope.
I don't want to hear
anything about
synonyms?
What about tree roots? You want to talk about tree roots, RJ? You want to go down? You want to go down that road with this movie?
Well, trees are powerful metaphors. I've read in the paper.
Wow.
Yeah. The local newspaper has mentioned that to me on several.
Very, very Kingsian. Very Stephen Kingsian.
It's just what they say. It's what they say.
We then get inundated with some bad child acting.
Which one?
The one that like.
I don't mind that kid.
It's like very clearly someone being directed what to do with the director on the other side of the camera saying, do this, and they're like,
he's like 5.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
this is some real bad child acting.
Oh yeah. I'll let him know. I'll call this kid. Yeah. He's probably like 40 now.
Well, he probably is my age. Actually,
you should call him then.
I should. I'll say, hey, you sucked. I should know. I was like you once. I was also a bad child actor, but I'm not in an actual movie. I knew better. I didn't have parents that put me up to it.
You know what happens when people go after child actors? You remember that kid who played Anakin Skywalker? Do you know what happened to him?
He's not very happy.
No, he's not very happy. No, some bad stuff happened.
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, some bad stuff, man.
Yeah. So these grown adults are hiding from an annoying child, which I guess is supposed to be zany.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the kid was one of the more.
I mean, imagine if this kid started leaving e-scooters on their yard. What would happen next?
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, see,
Then
now
the
you're-
yard's
now you're
never
mad.
recovered.
No.
It's never recovered.
There's a dent.
There's a dent in there. It's like, it's unbelievable.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's not fine.
It is fine.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'll do
Bucko?
I'll do something worse.
What shit on the door handle?
That's right. You won't even be able to get into your fucking house because
I'll
you'll be
move.
afraid. You'll like have your little metal device and you won't be
I'll
able
move.
to. Yeah. See, people on YouTube have no idea what we're talking about here.
Yeah. When that's more reason to not listen on YouTube. You got to go listen to the real stuff. Talking about shit and door handles.
Might never not even be on YouTube.
What this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Hey,
Do whatever feels right.
So we get some horse, like porcelain horse, like ornament show off, little show and tell, and then we get some hypnotism to deal with the unhappiness of their marriage because it's not all it's cracked up to be. What I used to call art house editing montage by way of hypnotism. Sure.
Would you describe this as art house trash?
This?
Yeah.
No.
No, neither would I. I didn't take it as such, but
no, that didn't come to mind. And then there's some bit about how the couple's scheduling sex. I don't know, whatever. Because this is supposed to
marriage.
be
Am I right?
This is supposed to be a comedy, a dark comedy.
This is a comedy,
Yes. Yeah.
like Solvocon to Perugia.
Yeah, kind of.
This didn't have AIDS in it.
Well, it had Australian penis in it.
Yeah, a very flaccid one.
See, so you were saying that you're acting like I was off topic talking about depth being achieved, and you're asking about and I was talking about penises.
Was he
And it's
circumcised?
I don't recall.
You don't know?
I can't recall. You have to look at the screenshot.
I didn't watch this movie,
Yeah.
so
I'm going to go with yes.
okay.
Yeah. And so of course, so there's something amiss with their relationship, and they're afraid. It's just I don't know. There's nothing specifically they're saying about this other than our protagonist doesn't seem very happy with her life situation.
She doesn't.
And then when they go back home, because they try to schedule sex away from the house to spice things up, they come back home and they're like, oh, someone's broken in, and it's a friend of mine, but it's in fact her sister, Sweetie.
She said, "Oh, she's a friend of mine." And
Sweetie likes to rock out with her tits out. RJ,
she does what?
Rock out with her tits out. You ever been
there? Is that
there?
good?
I don't know. That's just the thing. That's what she's doing.
Sometimes
the vibe we get is that her sister's not mentally very well, mentally unstable. Perhaps even one might describe her as maladjusted.
Could you describe what that means?
I don't know.
Is that disjunctive in some way?
Like the editing?
Yes. Her brain is disjunctive?
Hard to say. It's,
okay.
To me, it's treated pretty as in the service of the film.
It is?
Yeah, because it seems like it's been untreated until bumps and crannies are run into in her life, but her parents enable, because we get introduced to the parents, the old parents of these two, and I don't know, this movie. There's banging. There's late night banging.
What about early morning?
No, well, there could have been, but it wasn't. It wasn't. That was left on the cutting room floor.
Oh, okay. Off panel.
Yeah, off panel. There is so the couple, of course, are hearing the sounds of the sister having sex with this guy. I think his name is Bob or something like that.
It's Bob.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Tells you all you need to know.
Wow.
And of course, this apparently is turning on her husband.
Yeah, go erection. Crikey.
Crikey, you want to grope you.
That's a direct line. He says, "I got an erection." Yeah. Crikey.
Yes. Kay is the sister. She's our protagonist, and it's Dawn who is Sweetie.
Yes.
And Gord
Downey.
Flo and Gordon are the parents, and then there's and Lewis is her husband.
Yeah, Louis is the husband
or boyfriend or whatever. They're living in sin.
They're living all right.
They're living. There's some late night licking.
Could you describe?
When Lewis is like real horned up and trying to like get his girlfriend into the mood, he's like licking her leg, and she's like, "What are you doing? It feels like a slug." And it's like,
yeah, you ever slug it up?
No.
No?
No. How about you, RJ? How do you feel about that?
I hate slugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, put eggshells in the garden because people think the eggshells are for the fertilizer. They kind of are, but it's for slugs. The slugs climb over the eggshells and it cuts them and they die. Because I hate bugs. And slugs.
And slugs? Bugs and slugs.
Bugs and slugs.
That's the name of my band. That's
your band name?
That's my band name, and the first album was called Fuck 'em. How dare you? How dare you?
Fuck 'em. Well, I heard it from somewhere, I guess. But yeah. Fuck 'em. Bugs and slugs.
Bugs and slugs.
What kind of music did you play? Ska?
Yeah.
Ska music? Okay. Cool.
A lot of checker. Like
Chubby Checker? Do you remember Chubby Checker?
Yeah,
remember when he came up?
Yeah, I do.
It was good times.
I remember Chubby Checker.
It's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good. We gotta go. Yeah. RG, you need to go buy more toilets.
Well, actually, the scene upstairs is still giving us a hard time.
Oh, there you go. Or you could watch more Jane Campion films.
I'd probably go with the toilet.
So yeah, this is all having a weird hornying effect.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, then because Sweetie also tries he's like full on tries to make out with Lewis at the beach.
Yeah, and he goes, "No, come on." He said, "No, come on."
And then the ladies back at the factory, because they both work there.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of making fun. They're bullying, making fun of Kay.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like, oh well, you know what she did.
What did she do, Jarrett?
She broke up a relationship so they could be together. And
did she?
Well, yeah, I can remember he was getting married, and then that fell apart because now they're in a relationship.
Damn.
And this guy's just looking for an opportunity, I guess, to have some sex, and it's just not happening. Because I believe at one point they describe it as it's like you're my brother. Which is not the best place to be in a relationship, I guess.
It's not?
No, siblings.
Oh.
Unless you watch those kind of films.
Well, the Criterion films, it comes up pretty frequently.
It does.
So I felt like they were trying to say that's like the right thing, but I guess like I never agreed with it. But I feel like John Criterion is trying to make it a thing. You know what I mean?
So the sisters are fighting. We get introduced to the parents that seem to enable this whole thing, this whole nightmare escape with the situation of Sweetie, who just I don't know, annoying trash sister, one could call her.
Yep.
And I wrote, this certainly seems Australian.
Crikey.
I think there's some talk about jackaroos.
We got a jackaroo in the dilly.
Yep. We get some late night line dancing outside.
I found the dancing scene to be David Lynch-esque.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is where the one would ask, is like, is this art house trash? And it's like, no, this is like international cinema trash.
Yes.
Where this was the idiom of like a window of time from like 1985 through about 1998, and like you watch like one of these things off of the foreign film shelf at Blockbuster, like I don't know, a Cafe Flesh or something like that. Sweetie, it would all kind of have these asides, and then it kind of transformed. It started like working out like any hint of sex as it moved into the 2000s, and they just started turning to blueness and everything blue and devoid of sex. And then when they do depict sex, it's like really not sexy. They're just like, no, we don't want that anymore. But because at this period of time, it's depicted as kind of weird, as opposed to cold and weird.
Like, tell me more about that.
Oh, about sex?
No,
I don't think you want me to.
I wouldn't like you to, but okay. Can you direct me to like a youth pastor or something?
I'll send you some YouTube videos how to avoid things like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'd like to just
how to use
stay away.
your metal door opener.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I wrote, "Who is this for?" Which is something I often write with a certain kind of film. And
It's for Criterion, mates.
it's for Criterion, mates. And then Sweetie's a pain in the ass. And then Sweetie gets really out of hand. And it goes into a fucking treehouse for like, I don't know how long this goes on for. When I was skimming back through this.
15 minutes.
Yeah, when I went skimming back through for notes, I was like, holy shit. Like, this movie's not very long. It's like, not even 100 minutes. And
how long does it feel, though?
Oh, well, I mean, it's just more like, what is this? It's not funny. Again, I've been saying this a lot. It's like the cinematography's like good. It's fine. It's a nice looking movie. I think the performances are all like what they're supposed to be. And but there's just like, I don't really like the story at the end of the day. And it's like, this is tough to talk about. And, so yeah, anyway, sister is being told, hey, stop jumping up and down in the treehouse. You're like fucking 200 pounds, and you're going to go. I guess this is built for children, and sure enough, it goes collapsing down comically, crushing everybody. The parents like kind of get hit with a little bit of debris. The one kid jumped to safety and was in the tree still, but. Not
well,
Sweetie.
The mom's like almost crushed, basically.
Yeah, yes.
Too.
And I think she's like bleeding from the head.
Yeah.
And then Sweetie's like, Dad. And then just bleh, this blood comes pouring out of her mouth, and you're supposed to be like, and it is like pretty like intense to a degree, but you know where it's going. And then like there's some mouth-to-mouth resuscitation attempt, and just more like very strange-looking blood coming out, some internal bleeding, and then she's just dead, and you're just like, okay. And then there's a funeral, and then it's like, oh, now here's some whimsy. Here's a young child as we remember her singing.
She was a great girl. We all loved her. Crikey. It's too bad she got dead.
She got dead.
She was a great pooch, that's for sure. Remember that one?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so... Well, this movie is firmly in the whatever camp of of movies that we watch on a regular basis, where you need to be like really wanting to watch Jane Campion movies to be like, I'm really invested in this, because watching this just as a random movie, you probably aren't going to. I don't think you're going to be like sold on it at all, and I feel like there's hundreds of movies that do the same thing but are better. So, like, this should be my thing once again, but there's something I find disingenuous about the depiction of these characters. I don't buy that Jane Campion necessarily cares a lot about
this movie was dedicated to someone. Do you think she has a sister?
It's possible. Maybe this is more relevant than this, but it feels off because of these affectations in the making. It doesn't feel very genuine, because we just watched Clean Shaven recently, and of course that dresses up though mental illness with a like weird serial killer storyline, because it was 1993, 94, and this is kind of indie cinema dealing with the same thing, but not directly, because people don't talk about it. That's more realistic, and I don't want that. I don't want it to be realistic either, and like, or really movie of the week either. But I don't know. This is just from a content standpoint, this isn't something I'm interested in.
Content.
I mean, what this really needed was more minifigs.
Which kind?
Death Guard.
Death Card or Death Guard?
Guard. You know, like
any bugbears in there?
No bugbears. Still no bugbears. Mortarion is in there. You know,
when are you gonna do what I want to do? When are you gonna make some bugbears?
Bugbears.
When are you gonna do some like bugbears?
Let's make some nice looking bugbears, RJ.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I don't really have too much to say other than I was not impressed with Campion's performance. This movie, I'm sure, has its enjoyers. The movie's got like a 3.5 average on Letterboxd, so some people like it, but not this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't even know.
Okay.
I'll be curious where I wind up putting this on the ranked list. It feels like there's a lot on the bottom 3/4 list. For this
Well,
for this set of this like 301 through 400.
Sometimes the
been
bottom
tough.
takes over the top. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it has.
We go, this all sucks. So
yeah, this is another installment, and like usually I should be the one defending this movie against you, but I just feel like this isn't worth it.
That's fine. That's fine.
So RJ, what did you think of Sweetie?
Sweetie, more like shitty.
He went there, folks.
I smoked him. Nah, this movie blows, dude.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a hard hate on for this movie or anything like that. I was same with you. I was like, whatever. Like, yeah.
And what a high praise. John Criterion took your money.
So whatever. Well, this is on the channel, so
yeah.
It's,
well, he did.
I mean,
every fucking month, another $15.
Yeah. I do a one-time payment a year, and it really hurts.
Where do you put this?
This is
with fists in the pocket. Where do you put that? Because this is same ballpark.
See, I don't know, man. Because like, Fists in the Pocket was a movie that I was just like, I don't like this. Whereas Sweetie, I'm kind of like, I was like, I don't like this, but it's like it's a movie that exists. This Sweetie has a real it's got a feel with me with like an Elena and her men kind of thing where I'm just like, it's like, who the fuck is watching this? I don't care kind of thing.
So different.
Yeah, I know they're different, but I don't know in terms of Fists in the Pocket, like I might put it above there, but like it's not better. It's not better than like Fists in the Pocket. It's not better than Anus Amore. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not better than any of those movies.
Well, no, I think.
Well, see, the reason I said it too is
Anus Amore is definitely better than this. Without question.
Well, so I have Solo Con 2 Parija above Anus Amore, but like I actively disliked that. But it's like Sweetie, it's like I didn't like Sweetie, but it's like I don't know if I disliked it in the same way that I disliked Solo Con 2 Parija. I don't know, man. I will figure out a place to put this, but here's my rundown on Sweetie. It's got some really nice shots.
Yeah,
I know that's what people want to hear about. It does. Credit where it's due. It's got some really nice looking stuff. I like the way she frames stuff. I like that things are like out of frame sometimes, where it'll be like a mirror on a wall, and then it's like the lady's reflection in the mirror, and that's like the focal point. That's great. That's some great stuff.
Sally Bongers.
Sally Bonner.
Bongers.
You made that up.
Nope.
Sally Bongers?
Bongers.
Sally Bongers right down near the Barbie. Like that kind of Sally Bongers?
So the film's edited by Veronica Jeanette, who worked on a bunch of Jane Campion stuff, including Snowtown. Oh, baby.
Like the murders?
Yeah.
Thing? Did Jane Campion do that?
No, but Veronica
Jeanette
did edit it.
Oh, okay.
Jane Campion wrote this with a guy named Gerard Lee.
Gerard Butler. Yeah, love him.
Mm-hmm. Very talented.
Yeah. Love that guy. Yeah. It looks really good.
Okay.
And
what do you think, though, when Katie Mitchell writes, when I saw the question mark on his forehead, I screamed and was ignited by cinematic fire and knew this was the movie for me. A stunning film.
I thought that question mark thing was really, really goofy.
It's silly.
Yeah, it's really silly. Like, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like Harry Potter's Thunderbolt thing, but that's a movie playing it. Harry Potter plays it like completely straight.
Okay.
Whereas this is allegedly a comedy.
There's this thing about people who review this movie is they like to write, "This is the best cinematography ever." The rest of it was so painfully hit and miss. It honestly makes me sad. But
I mean, have they not seen a Roger Deakins film?
Roger Deakins.
don't lie. Deakins is pretty good.
He's pretty good, but he's not the only cinematographer.
No, he's not. But I mean, compared to Sweetie, where do you fit Roger Deakins?
I think this movie looks great. It's just
okay.
The issue is not the
other
way,
things.
The way the movie is.
Yeah.
It's not an issue of how the movie looks. It's not an issue about the editing. A lot of it is musical choice, which I'm willing to say is a combination of the editor and the director. Kind of deciding those types of things. And the movie opens up with this black text with these names, like very 90s vibes to this making of the movie. Some of these aesthetics just grind me, like, where I'm like,
grind your gears.
Yeah, they just like, I was like, ugh, yeah, this is that kind of thing. But I will say this kind of reminds me though of I'm not a big like George Washington fan either. And there's something about this particular style of it's independent
filmcraft.
So you can do a movie like this. I'm like, I don't really care for this. Like, you gotta like, I gotta like the story. I don't know about fucking getting fucked by your dog or something like that. This is and we barely even talked about the the titular character, Sweetie, who, like, I don't know.
I'll tell you about it.
You can tell me all about it. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you all about Sweetie. So, like, here's the thing. I do think it looks really good. I think this movie's trying to be a mental illness movie, but it's kind of like exactly what you said. We just watched Clean Shaven, which was like, that had some issues too, but that seemed a little bit more honest in a lot of the things they were trying to do with it. Where this one, like, I think you know how I feel about certain characters, like when characters are just screaming and like making like barking noises, and that's like that's just their character. I'm like, I don't want to watch this, and like, and it's like,
that goddamn barking dog bit.
Well, for so long. And so here's the thing. It's like, I know some people are like, well, that's mental illness. It's like, yeah, I know, I get it. I know people have problems. But this character, it doesn't even come off like that. They're just like, yeah, Sweetie, she's just kind of stubborn. She just does what she wants to do. And you're just like, fuck this lady. She's a real piece of shit. Because she's like, people will get mad at me for saying that, but like, whatever. She sucks. Sweetie sucks. So like, she shows up, and Kay is just like dealing with her own stuff. She pulled that tree out. She's having maybe commitment things with this man,
yes.
intimacy things with this man, and then Sweetie is there, and she's just banging this dude Bob, and kind of wrecking stuff a lot.
She's so like, alive.
She's so alive, but like too alive. And then Kay goes to work, and she feels guilty about her tree, so she's watering like plants across the street, and she doesn't really fit in at her job. All the people there bully her. And they also like her husband. She goes to appointments, and like other ladies are just like hitting on her husband or like her boyfriend. Yeah. And then at home,
he's an unattainable stud.
He's an unattainable stud, just like me and Jarrett. So they're like Kay doesn't get anything there. And then when she comes home, she's dealing with Sweetie, and she doesn't want to have to be a caregiver. And then Sweetie will pout and do things where it's like, hey, she's like shitting on the floor, and it's like, hey, don't shit on the floor. And she's like, all right, I'll show you. And then she like goes and eats all of Kay's possessions, and you're just like, come on. and then you go to her parents, and her mom is just like, we need to take a break, Bill, or whatever. And he's just pouting too, because he also has like, he's the one who has been babying Sweetie. So it's so mom leaves, and she makes a bunch of meals, and dad's just like, fuck this, crikey. That's an Australian accent entirely.
Sounds exactly like Oliver.
Yep, crikey. And then he goes to live with the daughters too. So Kay is taking in her mentally like unwell sister and her dad, who is unstable. And then he just kind of supports Sweetie. He's like, you're the best, Sweetie. You're doing great. Yeah. You're my Sweetie.
Which,
babe,
it's not that easy. But it's like, what is the direction of this film? Like, what is the idea like,
what's the point?
It's the parents. I mean, like this is the sort of thing you're like, is the idea that the father enabled this? And then
he doesn't. Like, he's nice to her, but like he does things that like are against her too. Like when she's like, I'm going on the car trip with you, and they're like, no, you can't. And she's like, I'm never leaving the car again. And you're just like, oh my god, because she's just a baby.
RJ,
she's a baby.
Have you ever known a sweetie?
Not to that degree, but there's been people I actively dislike for sure. Much like Sweetie. So like, and in that setting,
what would you like to see happen to them, RJ?
Things that I can't say on air.
I see.
You know, did Alex Jones win his defamation case?
No.
Okay, so this is a character I play for a podcast. Sweetie. So I mean, so the dad doesn't always enable it, because in that situation he does like trick her to stay. And then they take off on their own. So like, he's not always there for her, but he does like pump her up a bit. They go see mom. She's living with a bunch of like, I don't know how you describe these cowboys. Like they're not normal dudes, right? The cowboys?
No.
Like there's something going on at this.
Well, I mean, how many cowboys
place.
Can you say are normal dudes?
I know at least one.
Okay.
Yeah. So mom's hanging with cowboys. They all go and they do a dance, and then they go home. Boyfriend finds the tree that she tore up. He gets mad. He leaves. Sweetie's being a right bag, pouting, and then they kind of like, she's like running around. Mom and dad are back together. They find Sweetie in the tree. She's dirty, real dirty, and that's the time. Like Jared, if you saw her, you would want one of those brass or copper keys to kind of give her a poke, because you wouldn't want to touch her. I guarantee it. She looks like she was in an Arby's.
Give her a poke?
Well, to see if she's alive.
Oh, I see.
Like a literal poke. But she looked like she was just in a downtown Arby's doing something. She's jumping around. She falls.
Check your door handles, folks.
Check your door handles is all I'm saying. She jumps around. She falls. She dies. Mom's like, we shouldn't have been jumping around, you dumb git. I think is a word that the Australians use. And they bury her, and then the movie ends, and you go, cool. Yeah, so I didn't like Sweetie very much, at all either. Just because Sweetie is so annoying. And it's like I said, I know it's supposed to be like some kind of mental illness thing, but she sucks.
Mental illness sucks.
Yeah, mental illness does suck too, and it's just like everyone's trying to help her, and she's just like, they're like, come on, and she's like, whoa, 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 woof, woof, and you're just like, all right, well, you're going to the home, I guess.
Oh boy, RJ's home.
Not my house. I already gave Oliver your address, so
yeah.
Do with that whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Apparently.
No.
Yeah.
He's coming.
Yeah.
Sweetie pics.
Not great.
Nah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinema.
It's pretty bad, Jarrett.
You want to hear from people who hate or love this movie? I
mean, I don't know. I mean, neither of us really like it. You could do one of them or
sure
some loves. I don't know.
We got Isla.
I see what you mean.
And
Eyeball.
Isla.
Mm-hmm.
Half star, because I can't give 0 stars.
It's fair. Hey, they just 5-starred Marcel the Shell. Hey, and another half-star they gave was For the Love of the Game, the baseball movie. It's a weird one. They just gave Predators 4 stars.
Ooh.
Predators is not a 4-star film, guys. In case anyone was wondering.
Let's see. J. Matthew Lucas, half a star. I really hate this brand of Australian, New Zealand indie mumblecore awkward comedy. And it's even worse here, combined with a comedy drama about how this family reacts to this member with mental health issues. I should find this relatable, but instead I find this infuriating and absolutely insufferable.
I mean,
It's
fine.
This brand. I do wonder if Bad Boy Bubby would feel more like this now after all these years. But
I mean, you could watch Bad Boy Bubby and you could tell me about it.
we could watch it together.
I'm not going to, but you could watch it.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit about J. Matthew Lucas. App State graduate, writer, reviewer, photographer, GIF master, sports fan, autistic, gender fluid, he, his. Favorite films include Jaws and The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
And Jarrett just sent me something I'm going to refrain from repeating on air. But they also 5-starred films like Hamilton. That comes up a lot.
Hamilton.
People sure like Hamilton.
They apparently do.
People sure like Hamilton.
They sure kids love it. I scroll down a little bit to Denise Gunnell, half a star.
Denis Villeneuve?
Denis Villeneuve. There's a great deal of lazy use of voiceover, dumb dialogue, weird montage scenes, and weird erotic imagery. The film's amateurish and not realistic at all. The song choices are awkward and unsuited. The emotions or ideas are not thoroughly executed. The acting is wooden too. Overall, I wasn't interested in the story or the characters at all. Correct.
I mean,
correct.
If you want, correct. The only way you can get this guy interested, or a gal, is by showing them The Matrix. Their favorite film.
One person commented on the review. Yup.
I mean, this person likes some good stuff, but they 5-star stuff like Call Me By Your Name and all the regular things. Half-star films include Dune, David Lynch's Dune, Jarrett. It's not a half-star film. Port of Shadows? Ooh, that's a pretty good show. Remember Port of Shadows, Jarrett? Miami Vice? You ever seen Miami Vice?
I have.
They gave it a 0.5 star.
Wow.
Miami Vice, Jarrett. The Michael Mann prestige film. Miami Vice. Should we do some loves? Or do you got more hates?
I don't know. I guess so.
We don't have to do a love. I could read you some loves.
You read me some loves. And then I'll read to you what they think.
Okay, I don't do any pre-stuff here. Let's go with I got one for you, Jarrett. I got one for you. You ready for this?
Almost. I'm getting there.
Let's go with Jackson. 5 stars.
Oh.
I didn't read the review. I just looked like a long review.
Oh no. I see someone's name.
It's not the actual Jackson. If you see someone's name I should read, you tell me. Jackson. This almost feels like one of those quirky indie flicks from the 90s or the early 2000s. But it's really Jane Campion's own thing. At times, a quietly funny portrayal of a dysfunctional family and other things. And other times, a sad reminder of how we can marginalize those with mental illness, even the ones we love, whether we do it knowingly or not. I watched this as part of my Criterion challenge. Watch one of Agnes Varda's closet picks.
Oh, Agnes Varda loves it. She picked it from the Criterion closet.
I'm sure she does.
Do you think we'll ever be in the Criterion closet? Do you think
we'll be in a closet for sure?
So Jackson loves to watch esteemed art films, utter trash, and everything in between. Everything in between?
Yep. Everything?
They have a list of their Criterion Collection, 88 films. Are they still keeping up? Apparently they are. And let's take a look at their films that they made. Such films as... I didn't realize they made The Batman.
They made The Batman?
Maybe.
Like they made... Did you hear that Batman controversy this week?
Well, that there might not be a first one or a second one?
No, some chud on the internet was like, actually, I came up with the plot of the Batman movie, and Matt Reeves plagiarized me.
Was it David Fincher?
No, it was he would have been the only one who would have had right to do that. But there's some dude who doesn't. He's just some guy. He's like, they plagiarized me.
Okay, so Jackson's half-star review. Movies are Matrix Resurrections. Hey, remember that movie?
I do, yeah.
Remember when that came out? The Black Cauldron. That's a new one.
Yeah, that doesn't come up very often.
Don't Run from 2019. Death Note from 2017. Remember that one?
I do.
Wow, remember Adam Wingard?
Yeah.
You love that guy.
One of my favorites.
And Leprechaun 4 in space. I mean, that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, that's just a pick.
It's petty.
That is. You want one more, Jarrett?
Well, is it Sam Twyford Moore's Sally Bongers?
It wasn't. But I did like that one too.
It is. It's the highlight of the film.
It is. I didn't really read this, but it looks like there's a lot of thought put into it. Abby Hart, directed by Jane Campion. Damn right. I don't even know where to begin. The significance of the tree motif and its ties to family dysfunction. Motif is incredible. This film is so thoughtful that it makes me want to hide away in a cottage for 5 years just to work on a movie and have it be this intricate. Everything about this movie is heartbreaking. The clay horses, all of the labeled meals the mom leaves for the dad, the tiny dead tree under the bed, and the separated beds. However, at the top of the pyramid, for the most heartbreaking, were the moments where Kay and Dawn. Kay desperately wants a healthy and loving relationship between them. Dawn wants to be understood. I'm not going to read the rest. I watched Steam.
You guessed. See? I make it look so easy.
I don't do any prep work.
I don't either.
I don't read this shit before.
Yeah.
Sally Bongers.
There you go.
From Sam Twyford Moore.
That says it all, folks.
That says it all.
Cool. Yeah. Well, hey. 47 minutes. Any final thoughts on Sweetie? It's good.
No, the movie's not good.
Okay.
47 minutes is good. Yeah. Sweetie's not a good movie.
No.
I would describe it.
Nope.
It's not a good movie.
No, it is not.
So, it looks okay, but Sweetie really sucks.
Yeah.
So, find the Jarrett in your life and watch Sweetie tonight.
Living it up.
Who? You know what's a good pick? Cropsy.
Go watch those crops.
Instead of watching Sweetie, watch Cropsy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After the break, we're going to annoyingly bark like dogs.